you know, of course, when his death came, it was all sorts of like the thing that I saw that I don't think we've seen in a long time because, you know, Pac died over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Was all these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, and I wanted to believe it so bad.
That just blossom out. Now, you tell me which one, okay. Because I know I text you, and I didn't know
and I was all in on the conspiracy.
I didn't know if you was joking or not. Like, I was like, is he joking?
I was serious at the moment.
Because your sense of humor sometimes be a little like, you know, off-center sometimes.
I was all in. I wanted
you don't
to believe
say LOL a lot.
I wanted to believe the conspiracy. So I was making myself believe it.
What conspiracy was that you went?
The Dr. Sebi, because he was making a documentary, and they did kill Dr. Sebi because he was putting out the information about he had a cure for AIDS, cancer, and all this stuff through, through natural.
You're one of the people that feel like they killed Dr. Sebi.
Of course.
You believe he died. You believe he was killed.
Yeah, if he got a cure for all the diseases, how he gonna die from it?
Okay, so you believe he had a cure for all the diseases. You believe that, like there was a cure for AIDS and all that good stuff and cancer.
I believe there definitely is a cure for AIDS. I mean, I'm a I'll say economics, financial, a realist when it comes to stuff like that. The money ain't in the cure, the money's in the comeback.
See, I've always
let's keep them alive and keep them coming back to keep them alive, and then. When we done ran this course like polio did, then we give them the cure. It's too early to give them the cure right now.
I don't know, man. I always
we need to come out with a bigger disease first that's knocking people out. Then they come up with a cure for AIDS.
I always felt like it was a little bit bigger than that because I felt like there are people who are working hard to make form of cure. And then you talk to any doctor or whatever that can explain AIDS to you in the most simplest form, it's a little bit more complicated than that because I remember when we learned in school that technically there's no cure for the common cold. Like the common cold is a virus, and all you're doing with your medications and in your system is making the common cold go to sleep. And AIDS, HIV being a virus that it is, it's 10 times, 100 times worse than that.
Of course.
So if you ain't got a cure for technically the common cold, I'm like, yo, so they just don't, there's no cure for nothing in a sense? Like, I don't know, man, about how much I believe in the fact that there's more money in the cure. I think it's one of those narrative things that people keep saying over time, and we just kind of like have believed it. But the Dr. Sebi, there are a lot of people who didn't even know who he was, and they were believing that conspiracy. They were believing that that's why he died. And he was making a documentary about him because he thought that his life was interesting. I haven't heard Nipsey say on record that he believed Dr. Sebi. He was more like, yo, his life was interesting. I thought that what he was doing was he had lived an interesting life. And people were just running with it. Yeah,
I ran with it. I jumped off the cliff with it. I was all
totally
forgetting. All because of this daggone documentary. They killed him.
I mean, like all this, and people putting up quotes like "You better ride for me," all this other stuff. Like,
well, Nipsey did say that. He said, "They killed me for this documentary.
Where did he say that at? I mean, seriously, I'm dead serious. I'm not even being an a-hole. Like, where did he say it?
They quoted him saying that.
They did, but when did he say it? I saw people saying it.
There's no video of him saying it.
That's my point.
So you don't think he ever said that?
Dog, I mean.
Okay. You think that was a part of the conspiracy that they put up? Okay.
I'm just saying
that. Well, I mean, you could be right. Because, I mean, I don't know. But I jumped off the cliff. I knew that. I just wanted to believe something.
I'm just saying people were putting
something better than the inevitable. I wanted to believe something then.
Just like everybody wanted to believe that Jay-Z got his family, his kids a trust fund. And that turned out to not to be true.
Yeah, that turned out not to be true, too. But that is very believable, though, because Jay-Z does move like that. Like, he'll just, boom, and just do something just out of the craziness. And just like how they bailed out all the people from the riot in Baltimore. And I actually know one of the ones that they bailed out.
When you say they bailed them out, you mean like Hov and them bailed them out?
Hov and Beyonce bailed out for the Baltimore riots. All the people that were arrested in the riot.
The Baltimore Rebellion.
Yes, Baltimore Rebellion. Yeah, for that Freddie Gray. They bailed out everybody that was arrested in the riots.
Okay. And
I actually know one of the guys who actually was one of the main faces. When you go back and look up, and he was like the one talking in the middle of the street, and then like a Hummer goes by, and then he disappears in the Hummer. As the Hummer drives past, like he's one of the main ones. They bailed out every last one of the guys.
Well, it was also a little bit quick because I mean I know Jay-Z can make miracles, but it takes a longer than 24 hours to set up a trust fund, especially for $21 million.
Well, it was $15 million. That was the.
I read 21, but here's another reason why it was kind of easy for people to kind of believe because two of Jay-Z's like main homeboys had put it up. Biggs had posted it up. Sean Peckers, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He posted it up. But to me, when you looked at the meme itself, it never cited the source. Like, it never said where the source is coming from. Like, everybody was just reposting the same thing. And I felt like that was almost disrespectful because you almost kind of say, you take someone like Nipsey he was a business owner. He was like a Hove on another level.
Yeah, he was a younger version of Hove.
Yeah,
he was on there. He even said he hustled the Hove away. He said it on Hustle and Motivate.
What was he also?
And he said he got $1 million life insurance on his flesh, on his $1 million policy on his flesh. He said that and on all that on Victory Lap.
But he also like worked with STEM research or something like that too, or did some works with that. He did a lot of works. He owned a lot of businesses.
Yes,
with the things that he was doing.
Everything.
Right?
He owned the marathon. He owned the gas station. He owned the shopping center.
I say to say that his kids were taken care of through him. It's not like Hove had to come in and say. And that's my point. It's
there's no GoFundMe needed for Nip. I promise you that. I promise you that.
Not saying they wouldn't take it, but I'm just saying like there's no, like you said, there's no GoFundMe for that.
Yeah, there's definitely Nip's family don't need no GoFundMe. They are good. They are good. And the fact that everybody I was talking about just supporting his music and continue to support his music and streaming it and doing all that stuff, that helps him. I mean, that helps him continue to support his family even though he's not here. So that's one way that if you want to support him, just keep his music alive, which I'm sure will probably be alive forever now. And on top of that, I believe he's going to become a martyr and in the likes of a Big, in the likes of a Pac. And because they're saying now, and even more, I believe maybe even more than Pac, because in California, and I'll say not in whole California, I'll say maybe in LA by itself. Because, and I actually heard one guy say that he's the first like actual LA artist to actually die like that. Pac repped LA, but he wasn't from LA. Well, he's the first LA born and bred.
Yeah.
Like, Pac
really
repped LA.
Pac was really living in the Bay.
Yeah, Pac was
when he moved to California. He really was living in the Bay, which is Northern Cali.
Pac was born in the Bronx.
Right.
He lived in Harlem. He was born in the Bronx. He moved to Harlem, moved to Baltimore, moved to Marin City, and then that's where he set up shop. And then he got signed, and of course he ended up in L.A. because that's where that's the big market. So that's where all the business is. So he ended up in L.A. So he wasn't Pac was never from L.A. He was just adopted and just repped it and just wore the flag on his back. So they embraced him. But Nipsey is the first L.A. artist born and bred to actually go down like that.
I don't want to lose this real quick, and pardon me for a second, but one reason why I feel like the Dr. Sebi conspiracy was some BS is because I felt like it was also disrespectful to the family. Like, you wasn't allowing the family time to process. You wasn't allowing them, the family and friends, for them to process what just happened. You weren't allowing them the proper steps it takes for them to mourn. I mean, he had a family within himself, and he had friends. He had people that knew him personally. So to come up with these conspiracies off top before we were just even trying to understand what happened, I felt like was unfair. You understand? Like, it was totally disrespectful to, his partner, Lauren London, his kids, him being a son, him being a brother. Shout out to his brother, the gentleman name is Black Sam, you know what I mean, who showed up there when he got the call and things like that nature. So it's like his body wasn't even cold before we start having these conspiracy theories of you thinking like the government riding on him. And it's almost like that every time black people do something, whether we do something really, really great or we die very, very tragic, it always got to be some sort of mystic thing that happens to us. It's like if we make a grand achievement, you tell like a Beyonce and a Jay-Z, oh, it's the Illuminati. Oh, there's no way they would have got the Illuminati. It has nothing to do with their hard work. You guys ain't thinking Elon Musk signed with the Illuminati. You know what I mean? You guys ain't thinking that Bill Gates and them signed with the Illuminati. But when one of us make a certain achievement and we get to a higher form, all of a sudden we had to make a deal with the devil. Like, we had to sell our soul for some cookies for us just to get to that level. And I never understand that. You know what I mean? When we die, it's almost like, oh, well, they was out to kill him because he was out here trying to help black people. And it's like, okay, Al Sharpton still walking around here like, yeah, I get it. America does have a history of killing black people who are trying to do something, but that's not that. Like, that is what we, seeing being revealed was something totally different. And what is wrong with waiting to see the facts actually unravel before you start coming up? I mean, you have people writing full-fledged think pieces on the whole conspiracy and drawing the dots and the connection and all of that. So my thing is, if he was killed for making a documentary on a Dr. Sebi or anybody else, then Dr. Sebi got family, I think, that's alive, and people who still follow him. Why ain't they dead? Why ain't anybody else suffer from that or anything like that? It just, to me, it was just too much for people to take it to that far, and I just didn't understand that. It was disrespectful. Like, why would you even do that? You know what I mean? Why not? Why can't we process? I don't understand this rush society where we got to rush to these conclusions all the time. Why we can't just allow such situations to be like, yo, this is bad.
We just get caught up in the moment because I did, and I just wanted to believe something. I don't know. I just wanted to believe it was a conspiracy. Something had to be bigger. Somebody like him just couldn't go out like that. He was too embedded in that community, too loved, too respected, and not like that.
I will admit,